Hashimoto's remission is when you are no longer experiencing symptoms from your Hashimoto's. It is entirely possible not to have the depression, the brain fog, the fatigue, the weight gain, the hair loss, which is why in this video, I'm going to give you 3 guaranteed strategies to help put your autoimmunity into remission. This is Dr. Daniel Torres. I'm a chiropractic physician who focuses in functional endocrinology. If you haven't already, be sure you subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of future videos. So remember, at this point in time, autoimmunity is not curable, which is why the goal for any autoimmunity is to put that into remission. Strategy number 1 is to identify your personal triggers, because with a Hashimoto's flare, remember, it is always triggered by something. It could be a food sensitivity, eating too much carbohydrates. It could be lack of sleep, maybe too much sleep. If you don't know your triggers, you're almost guaranteed to feel lousy most of the time. So the more triggers you know, the easier it's gonna be to feel better and to get traction and to put your Hashimoto's into remission. So if you don't know your triggers, you are almost guaranteed to feel lousy most of the time. One big trigger for many people who have Hashimoto's is gluten. Amino acid protein sequence of gluten mimics the thyroid tissue. Now, if you need more help with the Hashimoto's flares and identifying triggers, be sure that you check out my other video that goes more in depth on this called Hashimoto's flares. Once you start to identify your list of triggers from the various different aspects of your life, then you need to come up with an effective and powerful recovery plan. Even with picture perfect planning and vigilance, you will still sometime along the line experience a Hashimoto's flare. So what you want to do is turn that flare around as quickly as humanly possible and then go right back into Hashimoto's remission. Now the key to an effective recovery plan is quickness. The faster you turn it around, the better. Ideally, you do not want a flare to go longer than about 12 to 24 hours without turning it around. Because here's the thing, the longer you're in a flare, the longer it takes to get out of a flare. One of those ideas for a flare recovery plan could be going into some type of an anti-inflammatory diet, increasing your vitamin D, using things like turmeric and resveratrol, anti-inflammatory compounds to calm down the immune system and push inflammation out of your body. Now, before I go into my last strategy and what I consider is one of the most monumental strategies for people who have Hashimoto's, be sure to let me know in the description if you have an autoimmune condition. Just give me a thumbs up or write yes down below. The third strategy is picture perfect thyroid hormone replacement. If you remember, with Hashimoto's, your thyroid gland is becoming more and more destroyed, which means eventually its ability to give you enough thyroid hormone goes down over time. So having a medication to improve the deficiency, that way you're not thyroid hormone deficient, is extremely effective and powerful. Now, the ability of your body to use that thyroid hormone replacement, that medication effectively, comes down to the stability of the other systems in your body. So you do not want to be thyroid hormone deficient. The brain needs thyroid hormone tremendously to work well. Every single tissue, system, organ in your body has a receptor site for the thyroid hormone. I will say it does take a very skilled and qualified practitioner who will pay attention to details. For those of you who have Hashimoto's or a thyroid condition or any autoimmunity, be sure that you click the link down in the description. Ebooks, there's articles, there are free consultations that you can get with one of our qualified practitioners at Red River Health and Wellness. I hope that was helpful for those of you who have Hashimoto's. If you did find it helpful, be sure that you leave a like, subscribe, and be sure to share this with someone who you know who has some type of autoimmune condition. Otherwise, stay tuned.